For the past 20 years or so, Agile has been the king of the castle in software development, no question about it. But what if that's all about to change? Today, we're going to dig into a massive shift that's happening as we speak, a shift powered by AI that might just flip the script on everything we thought we knew about building products.
And this quote right here, man, it just nails the core idea. The best ways of working aren't something you read in a book and force onto a team. Nope, they're discovered right there in the middle of the work itself. And that one idea, adapting to context, that is the key that unlocks everything we're about to talk about.
So, to really get where we're going, we've got to be honest about where we are. And for a lot of teams, that place feels kind of like an agile hangover. You know, it's the morning after the big party. The revolution promised all this freedom, but now you're just left with a pounding headache of rigid rules. I mean, does this sound familiar? You're supposed to be agile, right? Flexible, quick on your feet. But instead, you're just stuck in these endless estimation meetings, these ceremonies that feel way more like chores than actual tools to help you get work done. Why is that?
And here's the heart of the problem. For a lot of companies, Agile has become a victim of its own success. Somehow, the focus shifted from actually getting results to just performing the rituals. We're so busy playing estimation games that we forget what we're building. It's become this one-size-fits-all solution that completely ignores the unique context of the project, which is, the one thing it was supposed to be great at.
Okay, so just as we're all hitting peak fatigue with all this process, a massive disruption shows up. I'm talking about the rise of genuinely powerful AI. And this isn't just some new tool, you guys. This is a whole new kind of factory.
The engine of this brand new factory is something we can call the general purpose agent. This is AI that can take a high-level goal, not just a command, but a real goal, like build me a secure login page, and it can figure out the how all by itself. It writes the code, it sets up the servers, it actually executes the plan. The game has totally changed.
And this completely flips the script on how we work. Humans are no longer the primary builders, the ones on the assembly line. Our role shifts to the bookends of the whole process. We're at the very beginning, providing the vision, the what, and the why. And then we're at the very end, curating the output, using our taste and our judgment to refine and ship a great final product.
Now, this new division of labor, it has a huge consequence. Think about it. If the act of building things becomes incredibly cheap and fast, what's the new constraint? What becomes the most valuable part of the whole process? This chart just lays it out perfectly. Look at the old way. A giant chunk of our human effort was spent on the mechanics, the implementation, just writing code. Now, look at the new way. That implementation part shrinks way down. And where does all that human brainpower go? It shifts to high-level strategy and, critically, to ensuring the quality of the final product.
This quote says it all, really. In a world where AI can produce a nearly infinite amount of code, your competitive advantage isn't how fast you can type anymore. It's about the quality of your ideas. It's about your vision and the taste you bring to the execution. It all comes down to your judgment.
Let's stick with that factory idea, because it's so important. You used to be a highly skilled worker on the assembly line, putting the pieces together. Well, now you're the factory manager. The AI agents, they're your workforce. Your job is to direct them, to set the quality bar, and to decide what your factory should even be making in the first place. So this brings us to the solution. If the old rigid processes are a bad fit for this new reality, what comes next? Well, the answer isn't just another process, it's a whole new mindset. On the one hand, you have the old process-driven way of thinking. It was all about finding the one true way to do things and then just stamping it on every project. But on the other hand, you have this new context-driven mindset, and it asks a completely different question. Given this specific team and this specific problem, what's the right tool for this job right now? And that's what we're calling context-driven development. And let me be super clear here. This is not another framework with a bunch of new ceremonies and rules. It's a philosophy. It's about being a pragmatist, not a dogmatist. It means having a toolbox full of different approaches and having the wisdom to know which one to pick for the job at hand. So let's bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you, for me, for every single person on a tech team? Well, the implications are huge. It changes everything about what our jobs are. The amount of leverage a single person has is about to go through the roof. When you can direct an AI agent to do complex work,
Your personal impact isn't just doubled or tripled. We're talking about a 100-fold increase, maybe more. A single person with a really good idea can now direct a whole virtual factory to bring that idea to life. It's incredible.
And that leads us to what might be the single most important takeaway from this whole explainer. Your job is no longer just about closing tickets or writing code. Your job now is to think strategically about your piece of the puzzle. You are the CTO of your domain. You're responsible for the vision, the technology choices, and the ultimate quality of what you produce.
So we're going to end with this question. We are walking into an era of almost unbelievable creative power. The AI factory can build just about anything we can imagine. The technical how is quickly becoming a solved problem. So the most important question, the question we all have to ask ourselves now is, what is truly worth building?